yourself, tell us a little bit about yourself, and then proceed to the next one, okay? And you guys have 3 minutes. They're gonna be on the timer, okay? Maybe 3.5 or 3 minutes. Okay, so once again, introductions first, right? Then, once all the introductions are done, with our last gentleman on the left, I guess, if you're facing that way, then the ladies will start the questions, okay? All right, thank you. Mr. Clare, go ahead.
Hi, my name is George Clare. I'm on the board now. Some of the things that I've accomplished since I've been on the board, a lot of it's been at the clubhouse. We did the drainage job down on the side. We did out front that was broke for 2 years. The cement was all torn up. We got that fixed. We got the air conditioner put in. We got the trees trimmed. And I'm sure there's other things here. We did some trimming of trees out here. We power washed the clubhouse, the roof, and the admin office.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but can I ask a question? If you could stand up and you guys are introducing yourselves, because you got some people in the back that can't see. So just stand up so we can see your face.
Hi, my name is George Clare.
Thank you, sorry.
Yep. And I spent countless hours being in here doing what I did, and I did it because of the love of the community. I wanted to help the community. And I feel that I've done a pretty good job. And that's all I'll say.
My name's Mark Keller. I lived here since 2014, was president of this association. We did a lot of accomplishments that year. Can I sit back down now? Okay. I tell you what, sitting over there for so long, your back, you can't stand too long. But anyway, we did the floor here in the clubhouse because you can't stand too long. But anyway, we did the floor here in the clubhouse because the other floor was inferior. It was coming up. We were afraid that people were going to trip and fall. We also came down, I took office March 18th, 2020. We came down with COVID at the end of the month. Nobody knew what this pandemic was going to do. So we did our best to keep this community safe, myself and this board. And I know quite a bit about the rules, regulations, and bylaws, and I hope to get back involved in this community. Thank you.
Okay, my name is Millie Bernier. I live in Unit 4 and presently on the board of directors here. Ever since coming on board, even though you know different committees and different works of the community, unless you actually get involved in what's going on, you really have an idea, but you know better when you're on the board. I belong to the Crime Watch Committee. I'm on the ABCR Committee. Very instrumental in public works, especially working with George and Vince. My job was a public works director in the state of New Jersey, so I do know about the workings of your drainage and all this other stuff. This is a wonderful community. And as Mary Ann Lizelle from Crime Watch has stated, we have a report from the Sheriff's Department every month that comes. This is one of the safest communities in Hernando County because of everybody here, because everybody follows the rules and regulations. This is what I'm all about. I would like this opportunity to thank everybody for putting and having faith in me on the board. And whatever I do for you, I do for me. There's no in between. And honesty, you're going to get it from me, and transparency, as it has been since I came on board in March. And thank you again for having me here. Thanks.
Linda Walls, Unit 4. Lived in here since August of 2018. I've been involved with unit reps, other committees, involved with different clubs in here. I think Brookridge is a fantastic community. I'm a stickler on following the rules and regulations and our governing documents in the 720s. And I want to keep this community safe, follow the rules, and enjoy living here. And everybody have a good evening.
I'm tired of sitting down myself. My name is Richard Fleiss. I'm in Unit 6. And to let you guys know, my parents bought their home here in Brookridge in 1980. So I've been coming here for 44 years. This community is a wonderful community. It is great. And it's had many board members, and it's had problems a little bit here and there. But for the most part, this community has run quite well for quite a long time. And long after I'm gone, I think it'll keep going. My significant other, Linda, and I helped a few years back on renovating the sign out front. They wanted to raise $60,000. We got it done for a little over $20,000. And the lettering on it is Gemini lettering, guaranteed for life. Okay, so those letters, any of those letters go bad, we get new ones to replace them. I love this community. I have 2 lots, by the way. So I pay twice as much as most of the people with 1 lot. So I pay $100 a month for my lots. This community, it has everything. If you can't find a club to belong to, if you can't find something to do, I don't know why you're living here. You know, I mean, it's unbelievable, the amount of stuff that you're available to do here. It's a great place. And we're all human. We're not perfect, okay? Everybody makes a little mistake here and there. The floor thing that the gentleman pointed out was a huge $70,000 mistake. That did not bode well for me. They did not do their due diligence, make sure the guy was licensed, bonded, and insured. So we ate that cost. And believe me, I didn't like that. So I just want to tell you, I would try to help as much as I can. With every bit of knowledge I have, I like to listen to other people, and I hope, you know, hey, and I'm a snowbird. I'm the first snowbird ever to run, okay? So we'll see. If you like me, if you want to give me a try, please vote for me. Thank you.
Hi, I hope I got this right. I'm Catherine Lane. I'm brand new, well, fairly new, my 3rd year here, I believe. I'm also a snowbird. So how you doing? I wanted to get involved in the community, so I came up and I did paperwork for everything that was available for me. So I filled out paperwork, and this was one of them. And I felt strongly about this. I've worked on boards for the Kidney Foundation and Make-A-Wish Foundation, not like a board for a community like this, but other foundations, and I have found to be active within them and to have been successful. I have degrees in law enforcement, so looking forward to getting involved in that as well. But it's time for me to start dabbling in the things that are here in order to be a part of the community. And that's what I'd like to be able to do if you give me that opportunity. Thank you.
My name is Thomas Ryman. I've been here since 2005. I live in Unit 2. I feel that we need to make some adjustments. I think we need to increase communication, facilitate unity, honesty and integrity, support every member of this community and not just a selected few, make sure we're all legally compliant. And I've been a rehab director most of my career. At the end of my career, I was a regional director of operations, so I do have significant years of experience in management. Then I only address physical deficits. That also takes into consideration emotional, mental, and financial aspects of the deficit. As a therapist, my whole entire life has been in trying to improve the quality of life of another individual. And that's what I plan on doing, trying to improve the quality of life of this community. Thank you.
This question is for everyone, so again, just be brief as you can. Can a person, can a person run that has been removed from participating in a brokerage activity? Do you agree that person or not? Do you agree or disagree that a person should run for the board who has been removed in brokerage activity?
My answer?
Yeah, no, let's just go right down the line.
No, I don't think so. I think they need to be in good standards with Brookridge in order to be on the board.
George and I agree on the same thing. I believe a person that lives in this community should uphold its bylaws and so forth, and make sure they're up to snuff on what's going on, and that they should not be able to participate in anything like that.
I also agree that we're not here to judge anyone. Everyone has a past, future. But if it's going to make things not good for the board because you have baggage, and I vote no.
Everybody's given great answers. I agree. You know, if they're not allowed on other things, they should not be allowed on the board. And we move on.
Hey, I'm not sure if I understand your question. You're saying somebody had a violation of some sort and they've had their privileges taken away? I'm not sure I get it exactly.
What they're saying in the question is someone.
A little louder, please.
Okay, let me read the question again. How can a person run that has been?
You stand up and you hear you? Can't hear you. You gotta talk into the mic.
Okay.
Thank you.
How can a person run that has been removed from participating in brokerage activity? It's an activity.
It depends on the reason that the person was removed from the activity. I would say, you know, if they had a problem where their wife was in a medical emergency and they went fast through the gate, they got a speeding violation. Well, they were going to the hospital to take their significant other there. Well, so they get a violation, they get suspended for doing something. Well, should that preclude them from being able to do it? It depends on the circumstance, I would say. That's my answer.
I believe. There we go. He says, oh, there we go. I would have to agree. It would depend upon the circumstances and where it was an activity versus a violation of some sort of conduct that was involving the rules and regulations of the community. That would be a different story. But if it's an activity, you would have to find out and find out what the basis of the problem was and why they were removed from the activity before making any kind of a call for a board position. I believe. Thank you.
I believe that it depends upon the situation. We all know about rumors. Rumors go around. People don't know sometimes what they're speaking about, make accusations against some members. So I would make sure that we researched it, make sure we knew what we were talking about, and make sure we were doing the right thing.
This person wants to know, have you ever been on the board before? And if so, how did you serve the entire term?
Yes, this is my first term. I have until March. Then we have to be reelected again, but yes, I've served on the board.
Yes, I served my full term as president. I was on the board. I was reelected. I had a 2-year term. I was on Jerry Foster's board. And for medical reasons, I was going to have to get off the board because of surgery, and it was going to take a long time for me to recover. So I dropped off his board. He had asked me and 2 other people on that board to resign, and he would not let us participate at all in any decision. We didn't know about anything until that board meeting came up. The only thing I ever got was threats on the telephone from that previous board.
Yes, I was on the previous board for about 4 months to fill an unfilled seat 3 years ago, and then ran for re-election. And then here I am on this board now, and our term, I guess, is up in March, and hopefully we'll get in again. I hope so.
No, I have not been on the board before, but I would sure enjoy being on the board.
I was on a school board and I was on a pharmacology board. Never been on the Brookridge board because, as I said, I'm a snowbird. This is the first time they've opened it up to snowbirds. Thank you.
No, I've never been on the board.
No, I've never been on the board, but I have been keeping very close tabs for the last 5 years.
This question is for everyone. If you get elected, would you post on social media resident-sensitive information? Is that ethical for a board member? Do I need to speak slower? Louder. Louder. Okay. If you get elected, would you post on social media resident-sensitive information? Is that ethical for a board member?
I will answer it. In my opinion, no. And this is what's happened, what's ruined this community and it's divided us is because of social media. And it's sad. I mean, they posting stuff about me is really sad. And you know something? You don't even know me if you're gonna start doing that. But I will do the best I can to be here. But no, it should not happen.
I totally agree with George. When I was president, I encouraged my board not to get on social media, to stay away from it, and to keep things that we talk about on the board to ourselves and not spread it out there. Let's say, for example, somebody had a violation. I tell them, don't get on there and say so-and-so had a speeding violation. That's nobody's business. And I think we need to stick to that, and it's unethical to be on social media and gossip about somebody.
I totally agree, because just like candidates that run for Senate and Congress, social media will either help you or hurt you. And most of the times, they'll hurt you because there's no truth in a lot of stuff that you hear and that you read. My thing is that on the board, if you have questions about anything, either come to a meeting, call one of us up. And if we can't get an answer, we'll get an answer. This is all about transparency. Nothing should be out there. There's too much laundry being laundered out there.
No posting on any social media. I've always said the downfall of this country was gonna be people posting on social media. It's terrible what people put on there, and there's no way I would do that.
It's unethical and it's wrong. And some companies even fire people for it. I don't even text sensitive information to other people that I'm working on things with. Anything like our great senators and that say they use a skiff or something like that, well, we have to go into a closed meeting to discuss anything sensitive. So yes, it's very unethical, and I would never do that. Thank you.
I agree with the unethical piece, but social media is exactly what it says. It's social media. It is not board media. It is not Brookridge community media. It is social media. So if you want to be on a social site, that's a totally different piece of anybody's life. To be on there and socialize with friends or family members is one thing, but to get on there and air the laundry from your community that you're supposed to be supporting and be protecting is absolutely unethical, wrong, and certainly reason for dismissal in any kind of position, certainly on a board.
I also agree that social media can be a major problem. I think one way to cut down that problem is to increase communication within the community, which would cut down any rumors, etc. Yes, social media can be for your family and your friends, but when it comes to a business aspect, no.
Once again, this is for all of you. How will voting for you help the board of Brookridge? And if we'll name one issue like that you think you personally could improve the community. Okay. How will voting for you help the BCPO? And if possible, name one issue that you would like to improve our community.
I think that we need to look at speeding, and I think it's being looked at, and that needs to be muchly improved. And it's amazing how much speed people have got caught speeding in here. And I think code enforcement's doing a great job doing that. They're not getting so many people. I mean, there was days they had 25 to 30 people getting caught. And when we didn't have a radar gun for 4 months, it was kind of scary because people were going 65, 70 in here, and it's not fair. And I think that's a big thing right in here. And I think that I could help continue to make that a better place to stop speeding. Thank you.
Well, if I get on the board, I want to see just a little bit more transparency. I think that we need to get the whole community involved in things and not just 5 or 6 people. I totally believe, just like the last ballot that went out for the vote on the budget, that was the right thing to do. The thing about the RV compound, that was on that ballot that went out there. And I think that was the best way to do it. And I look at this contract with Spectrum. I think competition is good. And I think we should open this community up to other vendors and so forth. Because competition is good. If you don't have competition, then what do you have? You're gonna get higher rates. You're not gonna have any say-so over your bills. So I think we need to work on more communication with our property owners.
Okay, being on this board since March, and this board being presented with issues and problems from the last several years. There have been issues and problems that have come before this board this year that needed to be taken care of that never was by previous boards. And my contention here with this board, whether I'm voted in or not, and I will continue on helping and striving for this community on or off the board, is that I feel that we have been transparent. We do open up everything to the residents. You're not gonna make everybody happy. Everybody's gonna have their own opinions, which is right. Everybody should. It's a free country, freedom of speech. But you know what? You have to give people a chance to do what they're being elected for. Again, as I said, we've only been on this board since March. We have encountered many things from the previous boards that should have been taken care of, and now we're doing it. Transparency and honesty.
I believe in the transparency, being upfront with all the residents. I have been on the finance committee, the finances I have watched since the day we moved in here. There's a lot of problems there. Jim has done a great job investing money and the interest that we're receiving. But there's a lot of unnecessary expenses, I feel, going on in here that need to be curbed. And that's what I want to try and do, is help out with the finances and make it a better community.
If I were to be elected to the board, one of my main goals would be to look at all of our bylaws and make sure that they fall in line with all of Florida state statute. To make sure that we're not in any opposition to any of that. I'd like to make sure that people understand the rules that we're governed by and how we go about that. I know that this board hasn't run completely beautiful with Robert's rules of order, but I think it runs quite well. And I think this last board has done an excellent job from what I've seen, especially with investing money in CDs and stuff. I think that's just wonderful. I think that's great. So that would be something that I would like to do, is I would like to look at all the legal aspects of how we run this community to make sure it's streamlined, make sure it's very easy to understand for all the residents. That's mine.
Hi there. I believe that working and being open to the community and making sure that you're hearing what's being said, actively listening to the community, not projecting your thoughts or the way that you want to structure a thing or see them being done. You have to be able to be open to the fact that people have their own opinions, they have their own agenda, and when they come to you to talk to you about it, as a board member, you need to be open and less guarded to what they're saying to you. I think that the finances need to be investigated, no matter where you are, and I believe that legal issues always need to be addressed. And having my degree in the law field, I would like to be a part of that as well. So those are the things that I would probably address first: communication, finances, and the legal aspects of things.
I have to agree with the last two comments. I think we need to look at our legal aspect. I think there's some things going on that are illegal, for paying the attorney unnecessary fees. I think we need to increase communication for an organization this large to have one business meeting a month. Doesn't seem like it is satisfactory. I think we need to have more than one meeting. And I think we also need to be on a consistent, regular schedule for town hall meetings to discuss issues that are coming up for the board so that you can talk about it prior to any motion being presented. So that at least you have some kind of awareness of what's really going on. Increased communication is the biggest thing on my list. Thank you.
The question for all the candidates, are you in favor of a management company for Brookridge? If yes, why? And if no, why?
No, I'm not for a management company to come in here. I think if we do, it's gonna ruin our park. You're gonna see your value as your home go down. Well, that's how I feel. And I think that's not a good thing for us. That was last year, they threw that in our face, every one of us. Nobody had a clue what was going on, and that would have passed if we couldn't have got them to table it. So no, I'm against it. And the reason I'm against it is because we have intelligent people here, we have a lot of good people here that are able to help in this community. And so instead of being divided, let's just get together and make things work.
I totally agree with George here. We got a great group of people out here that volunteer their time and do things for this community. We don't need a management company. It would only hurt us and keep us apart, I think, more than what we are now. We need to learn to get together. Like at the first time I spoke at one of these meetings, I said, you got your Democrats, you got your Republicans, why can't they get along? I mean, look at Rodney King, he says, why can't we all get along? And I think if we had a management company in here, it would really hurt us. That's my thoughts and my opinion.
And I agree with Mark and I agree with George. This was presented to this board not too long ago. And why would we want to have a management company to come in here and manage what we do already? We have very talented people. We have spectacular people that work in the office. We have code, all your departments, everybody works along together. So nobody's going to come in here and tell me what I have to do, what I'm not going to do. We're good just the way we are. Let's keep it that way.
I'm not in favor of a management company to come in. I've read a lot, done a lot of research when they were talking about it. I don't think it's for Brookridge. Like Millie said, we have a lot of talented people in here. We're running fine. We have a management company come in, the only thing I can see is one of the things is hire HOAs.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we don't want that. We're doing great the way we are right now. That's my opinion on the property management companies.
Yes, I was here too when they were talking about the other management company and that, and they were saying that there was going to be a general manager here. And then when I asked who it was going to be, because I said, we have a general manager, are we going to have that general manager sweep the floors now or whatever? Oh no, she's going to be our general manager. And I'm going like, really? You know, so they were going to use our general manager as their employee, and you know, things didn't make a lot of sense. And we're going to pay $90-some thousand more or whatever. No, because now you've got outside sources that you have no control over, and they're making all the decisions. It's better that we work together and we inform the community. We have amendments, we have referendums, we have people vote on things that they want to get approved. We have discussion. You're not getting with a management company, how much discussion are you gonna have? So I'm not for a management company. Thank you.
A management company, I can't imagine why anybody would want to have a management company if they can pull things together enough so somebody is listening to what's being said. If you're communicating with me and I'm a part of the board, I'm going to make sure that that gets communicated to the appropriate people. And action is taken, and that's what a board is for. So a management company would come in, charge more money, and they would run everything, but run it with the same people that are already here. I would agree that our people need to be able to be heard from you guys and then go from that point forward. Not from the backwards way of putting the management company in, increasing the revenue, no revenue, because it would be going up to pay for those people, and then increasing what we're already paying. So I believe that you open up the communication between the community and the board, and you make sure that that's running smoothly, and everybody can work together to make sure that everything is tended to the way that the community wants it done.
I have to agree with Catherine. Communication is a big key. It's the backbone of success. I also think we need to go back to the advisory committee that can do all the research for the board members, so to make sure we have all avenues, all I's dotted, all T's crossed before we make a final decision. They were very helpful back under Mark's board with the floor issue. We had some AC issues. They were very helpful, and not everybody has knowledge and everything, and so if we utilize more heads, we'll get better results.
Okay, I want to say one more thing. You know, you talk about advisory boards. All that was a bunch of secret meetings.
It was advisory committee.
It's a committee. It was exactly what it was. Nobody knew about it. And I think that's totally wrong. And you know, one other thing people want to remember with a management company, they give you a base, what you owe them, $100,000. But that's just a piece, that's just a small piece of the iceberg. Everything else is going to be added on. Could be 20,000 here, 50,000 there. You have no control of it. And is that what we want? I don't. And I'm against having an advisory committee.
Okay, this is for all 7 of you, and it's a yes or no question. I'll go right down the line. Have you ever declared bankruptcy on Brookridge?
No, that's not a question to be asked, and that's personal, and I think we could be letting ourselves open for a lawsuit.
That question is not relative to what,
Okay.
no, absolutely not.
The rest of it is, have you ever been in a lawsuit?
No, there's, no, take that question and throw it out.
Absolutely.
You know, whether somebody has bankruptcy or not has nothing to do with this board. If it affects Brookridge, it does.
I think they mean if it involved Brookridge.
Right, if it involves Brookridge, it does. Well, that's different, but if
They're
it's
asking.
your personal. Did you ever have bankruptcy that involved Brookridge?
Are they saying Brookridge?
Yeah, that's what they said.
I think
Can
that's
you
an
read that
extremely
again?
personal question that does not need to be answered. You would not be sitting up here as a candidate if you were not in good standing. So that has nothing to do with her.
Let's just go to the next one. This question is for Mark Keller. You gave the last general manager a contract in which Brookridge would be on the hook to pay even after she was released from her position. Do you think that was a poor decision financially on your part? Did you inform the residents at the time of this conflict and the conditions of it?
Well, at that time, that's a personnel question, but I'm going to answer it anyway. At the time, we spent a lot of money with Spirion hiring a bookkeeper and a general manager. And a lot of my board interviewed the bookkeeper and the general manager, all of them that Spirian sent with us, to us. Now, the thing is, who wouldn't want a contract? Tell me the truth, when your employees come to you and say, we've heard if this new board gets in, we're gonna lose our jobs. And I called the person that I knew was gonna get in. And he said, absolutely right, I'm gonna fire them both. And that's why I gave the girls a contract. But I did put a clause in that contract that stated, if you did not do your job, you could be terminated with just cause. And that's what I put in that contract, because the girl that brought me that contract didn't have that in there. And having 14 employees underneath me when I owned my insurance agencies, I knew how to do contracts because I gave everybody in my insurance agencies contracts. My own daughter worked for me. She had a contract. My wife worked for me. She had a contract. That way, as I would pass away and somebody took my agency over, that contract would be good. And the person that took my agency over would agree to uphold those contracts. Now, I've had emails come to me from people when I was president saying that this new board was going to terminate them and fire them. That's why I gave them a contract. And if you don't think that's right, then shame on me. But I did what I thought was best.
This is a question for all candidates. How do you see yourself fitting in with the current board?
I'm fine.
And I'm fine, how about you,
I'm
boy?
fine.
I think I fit in fine with the current board. I don't think there'd be a problem at all.
I'm fine just the way it is.
I think I would fit in real good with them.
I look to be a team player. I don't look for making conflict or anything. I try to listen. I don't try to run somebody else's railroad. I just try to do my work to the best of my ability and be a help, not a hindrance. Thank you.
I think that's what being a board member is being a team player and being able to stay in your lane. Although working with the board, I think you need to stay in your own lane and make sure that you're taking care of what your piece is. Even though you all come together, I believe that you have to do your piece. So, yeah.
In my career, I was a team leader. I had a position several times. I also were European team leader, working together, trying to solve things, having open communication, being able to listen to each other's opinion, and make a decision from that. Yes, team player.
This is the last question that we have written, and it is, what do you bring to the table that could benefit our community? And what is your previous experience that qualifies you for a position on the board? I think you've all pretty much answered that. Do you have anything you want to add? Anybody?
No, no. Sorry.
We have a couple questions that are a little bit inappropriate, I think, so, I don't know. I think that concludes the questions that we've been given.
My name's Tom Freeman. If anybody would like to speak to me, get more of my opinions, things like that, My name and phone number is in the phone directory.
I got another thing I'd like to bring up. You know, everybody's sitting here saying that Spectrum, we stopped everybody. If you got Dish, you got DirecTV, you got AT&T, whatever you want, you still are eligible to have it. It's not gonna affect you people. But you know, this contract that was signed for Brookridge was already in place 15 years ago, but nobody ever followed up on it besides us. And do you really want to know what kind of money we're talking? A little over $1 million. That's going to go in for us to be able to put it in operations. Excuse me, 900 and something. Okay. Okay, so, okay, I was wrong. I was already off by 60,000.
So
40. But anyways, you know, is that better in our pocket to help get our community back up? There may be things that we'd be able to do. People asking about, how about a new tennis court? How about, you know, there's many things in here, or a new pickleball court. You know, maybe add a room on. We'll have the money. All that money is either gonna go into operation, and I believe some of that money is gonna go into the reserves so that we have it. But, you know, everybody's down to it. Everybody has said this board had no business doing what they did. Well, all the other boards could have done it, but they decided to push it off and not do it. Yeah, another 2012, a contract was signed. I think when in 22, there was a contract signed. No, 22? No, 2012, there's a contract signed, and they just let it ride. So
you're saying during those other previous contracts, Spectrum never gave us back any money? Okay, so if they're gonna start giving us back money, George, who do you think they're gonna get it from? The people in this park that's paying Spectrum right now. Because my rates keep going up and up and up, and I would like to get rid of Spectrum. Well, sure, I have nowhere of putting it aside like this.
this has nothing to do with raises. With raises, I mean, your raises, your community is gonna go up regardless. So you either can back out of Spectrum, go to somebody else. I don't care. Anybody. I mean, we got other options out there. Go ahead, Al.
I'd like to mention
Why was it not
that
brought up to the people before you signed anything?
That's what the point I was trying to make when I was speaking.
You never do that. You guys
discussed in
just
more
go
detail.
ahead.
It was.
People need to remember too, that this Hernando County had a moratorium where Spectrum was the only cable company allowed it. Currently, the county is looking at other options as well and trying to possibly eliminate that contract.
I need to stop you right there. This is a meet the candidate night. Okay, we need to stay on topic.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
I'm sorry.
Do you have anything, Vince?
It just says this is not a board meeting, it's meet the
Right.
candidates.
I just,
Yeah.
okay, all right. Oh,
When we first moved in here, the board back in 2018, they tried to pass a package to get the rates down for the residents. But the residents voted it down because everybody had to agree to it. Everybody had to have Spectrum. If you had Dish TV, DirecTV, any other services, and you still wanted them, you would still have to pay for Spectrum, plus whatever you chose. It had to be 100% of the residents to sign up for that,
okay.
for us to get reduced rates.
In closing, do you all want to have a few minutes each to say something in closing?
I guess I've said it, I've got an argument. But you know, that's okay too. But you know, you know, they talk about if we had bundled it, if they had bundled it, that means that there's gonna be a check. But we'll let it go, and we'll discuss it at another meeting. Thank you.
Mark, do you have anything?
I just want to say thank you for everybody who came out tonight. I appreciate it.
My sentiments to thank you guys for coming out. Hopefully, we dodged this storm yesterday, which I'm glad everybody was safe. And again, you know, it's up to you guys for this board, no matter who you choose, okay? Just make the best judgment that you can. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank everybody for being here tonight. I'm a resident, and I want to be available to everybody with any questions, problems, concerns they have throughout the years. And everybody have a good evening.
I want to thank everybody who stayed for all this, and I appreciate you listening to us that are running for board member. The other thing I want to add is I actually believe in term limits for board members. I don't think board members should serve more than 2 consecutive terms, because then things can happen. They can unfortunately have some failures in how they run things, and that I won't get into particulars, but I think it's a good practice for other people, new blood to come on and to make sure that things run smoothly. We need everybody involved, and we need the consensus of all the owners here to help with the community, because that's what we want to do. We want to help the community. So thank you very much for coming.
Well, thank you for everyone that came tonight. I enjoyed my time here. Thank you very much for opening this up for me to be able to be here. And I look forward to getting to know each and every one of you at whatever level, at whatever juncture we happen to meet at. But I'm looking forward to it, so thank you.
I want to thank everybody for taking the time to listen to what I have to say. My entire life has been improving the quality of life of another individual. That's what I plan to do, increase communication, make things better for everybody. And I'm very supportive about volunteer and help. I do a lot of volunteering for fundraising for veterans, so I'm here for you if you need me.
Thank you all.
Did it?